Hey everyone, Zero JD here with the XY Fans channel. I'm here to give you a quick taste of No Man's Sky. As you might know, this game released about 2 years ago as of this video being made on the PlayStation 4 and PC with incredible backlash. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about it as a game on the Xbox One. This is running on an Xbox One X, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, the main point of this game is exploration. There is some story bits in it, but so far they've kind of been like, go here, check this out, kind of run around, go back to space, go to the next system. Or it's been like this idea of like, hey, where you want to go is a few systems over, so I have to go to each system, gather resources, and go to the next system. But the main focus of this game is, hey, there is a lot in this world to see. There's a lot of crafting, there's base building, and one of the biggest features of this new update, or the next update, is third person, which I would suggest you play in. This is not your starting ship. This is the one I was able to buy after collecting a lot of money and a lot of hard work. So I'm actually on a planet right now that has a super crazy firestorm, and it's making me continually have to run around and allocate resources into my suit to keep the thermal protection up. But as you see, I can run around, fly, jump, all that kind of normal stuff. You can fly and low to altitude to get around faster, but the biggest draw of this game is kind of just running around and seeing what is what. Oh, I need to get back in here. We might actually relocate planets, so let's actually go ahead and leave here. But the main draw of the game is the, hey, just the infinite exploration aspect and all that fun stuff. So let's actually just go to another planet that does not want us just to die. So I recently got to this system new, and I haven't really spent too much time on planets. So that's a Scorched Planet. Every planet has a different kind of thing to it. Some are snow world, some are fire world, some are tropical planets like that, or they're just hell planets that's just firestorms and hot death all the time. So let's actually, this planet might be best to go to, just because while it is an icy planet, it's not too crazy. I accidentally flew too close to a ship. So flying is actually fairly simple. Left stick steers you, right stick lets you kind of look around. The triggers, right speeds up, left slows down. Holding the bumpers together gives you a kind of a hyperspace pulse that lets you go faster. But a lot of the stuff in this game is, hey, you need to collect resources to fuel stuff. As you can see here, my fuel remaining might get me there, it might not. I might have to stop an asteroid field, blow them up, and then open up my tabs and kind of deposit stuff where I need it. As for crafting, it's actually fairly simple. Everything requires, elements, and you collect those elements on planets. When you look at something, it tells you what elements are in it. So let's say, hey, antimatter here needs chromatic metal and condensed carbon. These are actually what I like to call advanced elements. You put them in a sort of a mixer or condenser, and it will use carbon to turn copper into metal, and then carbon into condensed carbon. So this is actually a good thing for a little bit of combat, quote unquote. Holding A, blowing stuff up, and it will kind of magnetize resources to you. So I'm gonna shoot through here. There are other shivets that will attack you and stuff like that. I have not actually dove into the big time base building stuff. I haven't found the correct planet yet. What I can show you though is I recently got this. I was flying around in I encountered a freighter that was under attack, and they were like, hey, help us out. So I helped them. And they called me onto their ship, and they're like, hey, thank you for helping. We're gonna give you our freighter. For some reason it is not liking that I want to summon it there, so let's get out of here. I haven't run into any game-breaking bugs. Apparently on release there was a save-breaking bug, but I have luckily not encountered that yet. So there we go. So there is my freighter. I can go in, land in there. I can store my ships there. Oh man, we are lucky. So this is gonna be a little bit of a longer quick taste, so just be ready. So I can go on the ship. I can store resources there. Inside I had, and I think it's a bug that I did encounter actually, there's a fleet screen where I can actually send out frigates. Oh nope, there he is. So I could send that frigate out to do a mission, and it will just go off for a while. and just like take care of that mission for me. Look, those people are going into my ship. So we're gonna actually go do some fighting. Combat's fairly simple. There's a like leading reticle, you're shooting at them and all that kind of fun stuff. So I could hyper jump to them, but that I'd have to refill and all that stuff. So let's get on down there. So it looks like he's by himself. And once we get into range, I got impatient. Let's go. Oh, never mind. So this ship I got recently is slightly stronger than my other one, but it does not have missiles. But it has a stronger shield, so... also, once in a while, if you're going after a bounty or someone attacks you, I believe some security shows up. Kind of like Elite Dangerous, they'll help the one who I believe is in the right. So if you start shooting at like frigates to pirate them, system security will come in after you. I'm sure I could be have a little more finesse here, but I don't want to. I could chase him and get after him, fun stuff. I'm gonna get crit hits there, and he's gone. I picked up his goodies, and that's it. And I should be credited for my account and all that kind of stuff. But like I was talking about earlier, the missions aren't like the main focal point. There's like a few of these here. I'm not gonna go deep into them because there is some story, and it's unique. But again, it's not a super focal point. Achievements and stuff is marked here, milestones like, hey, go to a planet, scan all like the life on it, or hey, warp this many times, walk this far, destroy sentinels, which are kind of like the police of planets. If they kind of catch you doing something naughty, they'll attack you. Like how much money you have and all kinds of stuff. So far I've only met 3 races. I am not sure there are more. The Gekir are the ones I am more interacting with. See, as you can see here, I have like a whole bunch of words. When you meet a race, you don't know any of their language at all. So you're kind of like, I don't know what's happening when they talk to you. So they might be like, hey, they're like, I don't really know what you're saying. Oh, you want to trade. So it's not like you don't know exactly what you're saying. You're not picking like yes, no answers all the time. They might ask you to do something. Like, hey, will you do a quest? Or, hey, they're asking for something. Here are these items you can give them. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. So we're gonna go down here. So if you can see on the right, it gives like the name, the planet type, and then what's on it, the main elements that are on it you can collect. Another one of the big draws of this game is that you can actually, once you discover something, you can name it and then set it off. So we're gonna look at this. Hey, look, I've discovered this. So let's hold and name it, and we'll just call it XBLA fans. So now if someone happens to like find this place, it'll show this. It'll be discovered as 0, and I can go down here. When you first discover an animal or something or a plant, it'll give you credits. There are credits, and then there are nanite units, which are both different types of currency and all that stuff. Usually when you buy stuff that is blueprints, they want nanites. If you buy elements and like crafting material, it's money. So I just sent all that off. Send all that off, and as you can see, there's gonna be, hey, here's some nanites, go for it. So planets usually have a variety of fun little stuff on them. Oh, this is like, oh, there was hot rain on the last one. This one has a blizzard. There are extreme planets where you're that rain planet, as you saw, my thermal protection or element protection was going down real fast because that's an extreme planet. So this one I'm gonna actually land here and hop out. I'm gonna show you the menus quick. So that's a sentinel. If I can kind of look at him and be like, hey, he's collecting harvest data. If he kind of catches me doing things, he's gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? And if I keep doing that, he's gonna sound the alarm and they'll attack me. If you can see on the top, it says Extreme Storm there. That little snowflake, that bar is actually my elemental protection. Let's get in here. Below that is my oxygen tank kind of thing, and they actually need to be refilled at times, and I can use elements from my backpack. So as you can see, the storm has passed, so it's not dropping as bad. So what I do is go to my recharge equipment, and see, like I said, life support. I'm just going to put some oxygen, which I collected from some plants, and that's just going to fill that back up. Same with sodium, the thermal protection, or the elemental protection, and the same for like my mining beam, which is my main point of collecting resources. Like I said before, run around, you can kind of see like, hey, that has ferrite in it, or hey, this has carbon. Carbon's what I use for like most of the time. I use for my, like when I want to mix elements or like condense elements. But like here, over here is like sodium, and this is what I use for filling up my thermal protection kind of stuff. And then this is the main loop of the game, kind of exploring, cataloging. If I, like, this is my scan visor, I kind of go into here, and once I scan this, it'll send the data off. And if someone comes here, it'll be like, hey, 0J discovered this. Don't take that credit amount as what you'll get at the beginning. I actually have a very high, like very high, and multi-tool attachment, which like increases my amount by like a massive amount. I bought it for like 300 nanites earlier, and of course I've like modified my multi-tool so I can like mine with it and collect resources faster. I have like a actual weapon on it. For those worried about like, hey, like, won't it get annoying, or won't you like get super strapped for resources for keeping yourself alive? Most of the stuff for like thermal protection, all of that stuff, and oxygen, if you hit left stick, it'll kind of mark them nearby, and there is usually not a massive like issue finding them at all. There's like, I will find these like sodium deposits in like groups of like 5 to 10, and it's crazy. The same thing with the oxygen, or oxygen will be super close, or like you'll need fuel to take off from the planet. There's no fuel for flying around except for that hyperdrive, but like you need this as long as the ferrite dust to craft a takeoff item. So actually, let's actually craft that so you can actually see. So right now, to make the takeoff juice, I need this. So I need dehydrogen and metal plating. To make metal plating, I need ferrite dust. So I actually have enough of this stuff here, but I'll grab some and be like, hey. So luckily I know that these little guys, ferrite dust is in here. So I'm going to kind of collect this in here. Ooh, I'm actually, it's really hitting me hard here. So we're going to actually head on back to the ship, and I'll show you crafting, because when you're in the menus for crafting and stuff, the game doesn't pause, but if you hit the pause button, it does pause. There's little creatures everywhere you can like scan to get money. But when you're not questing or doing stuff correctly, there are side quests and stuff like that of like, hey, kill this many creatures, or find this amount of element, or take a picture, which actually I can be like, hey, this looks kind of great. So let's go over here to the photo mode. It'll kind of freeze time and be like, hey, I can hit that screenshot and it'll take a picture. So that kind of stuff. Actually, and the really cool thing, and I'm glad I left that up, is the request to actually take pictures on a planet, and you do that and it actually detects you taking the actual screenshot. So if you're not a screenshot person, they're still kind of like, hey, we want you to take a picture, wink wink, kind of thing. So now that we're kind of safe, your thermal protection will refill in your spaceship. So I'm gonna go over here. So now that I actually have what I need, I'm gonna go in here, gonna craft this metal plate, get back here, and then craft this. And now I have it. I'm gonna add it to my pile here though. And now that I have it, I can go through recharge equipment by pushing down and charge it up. Other things you see here is like just utilities, like hey, switch stuff. I don't have a scanner to scan for trade outposts, but there's like whole bunches of upgrades you can do to your ship. You can actually like get like slightly better fuel efficiency or more damage, missiles, stuff like that. Nothing like insane. You can get a teleporter that lets you transfer items between you and your ship from a farther distance, kind of thing. But like I said before, most of my goodies are up on my freighter here, so I could transfer stuff to my freighter. But since I'm not on my freighter, I can't directly mess with it. And like, hey, like I can also upgrade my freighter, make it like move faster or like use less fuel and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff that is meant to kind of make you want to pursue the continual circle of gathering resources, upgrade, gathering resources, upgrade kind of thing. So like, I believe, where is it? This is not standard on my last ship. This is a better armor upgrade. So that's kind of like, hey, your armor's slightly better, so you'll take less damage, kind of fun stuff. Again, like I said, I didn't really gotten into the base building aspects of it, so I can't really comment on that. I plan to do that. I might make a video about it later. But like, this is what I was talking about, the refinery. It'll make stuff like a higher quality. It'll turn copper into chromatic metal, which is used for higher level stuff. But this storm is still kind of here, but we'll hop out and kind of go. But like, the game does give you some pretty nice little things. Like, hey, when you're on a planet, it kind of tells you like, hey, you've discovered I believe 5 of 11 species on this hellhole ice planet kind of thing. Usually these little waypoints pop up when you're near like a station or anything, and it's like both a waypoint and a save station. But there is just so much to get into that I don't want to keep you guys here forever. But it's a game I'm very much enjoying. I have easily spent time on planets and just kind of ran around. A lot of time when you're running around the planet, you're looking for like these little icons, like here, like the technology models is how I believe you unlock more blueprints for your base and stuff like that. Man, this is a very demanding planet. So, or like over here, this is a language stone. This is actually perfect. But oh man, like, so if you go over to these, it gives you a word for the language of like the dominant race and the system you're in. It's not like there's not like Gek and then like the techno race. It's usually only the Gek or it's only the techno race in that area. You could look at the top bar. There's a warning up there, and I believe that's because there's a hostile like life form over there. It's like it's usually like non-moving plants and stuff like that. I haven't encountered any hostile life forms outside of these like almost Zerg-like creatures that if you destroy your eggs, they come after you. And of course, my weapon has a bolt caster kind of setting. This is probably one of the more demanding planets I've been on, but it's not, like I said before, like just to recharge like my main mining laser, it's like ferrite dust. It's like the building block of anything. So I'm like, hey, carbon comes from trees, cut down a tree, refill your thing. I recently got this, which lets me like dig into the ground. So like, hey, it's really cold. Let's kind of get in there and be like, yeah. And then that one goes off of the like ferrite dust kind of thing. There is character customization. I like the guy with the 3 eyes. If you pre-ordered it on Xbox, you got some kind of crazy helmet Xbox logo thing. But from what I understand, the multiplayer, you can kind of fly around with people in space. You can't share one ship, but you can both go on the freighter. You can co-op base build. For those who are worried about base building, I have done research where it's like, hey, I want to like build a base, but what happens when I leave that system? Apparently, if you put a warp point in that base, you can warp to that base from any area, from any space station. So like, I bet you got another question. What happens if I like run away from my ship and get lost? As long as your ship has the takeoff juice, is what I like to call it, you can always hit down on the D-pad and go to summon, and then it'll kind of be like, hey, I want you to come in here. And it's like, oh, it's what was waiting right above in orbit. And then you can kind of get out of here. So that's, as you see there, the launch thruster is slowly going down. And of course, so I hold B, I can go a little faster and kind of get out of the system. But I've discovered some like really crazy stuff. There's our planet. So if someone comes in this system, they're going to totally see that. And I've seen a lot of other NPCs. One of my issues is it's like, hey, essentially almost every system I've gone to, there have been NPCs in it. I'd like to once in a while see like, hey, there's kind of no one here. It's kind of a dead system kind of thing. So let's head over to this main space station, and I can show you around inside. But like I said before, the main attract is running around crafting, hey, putting your claim down that this is mine, I discovered it, kind of thing happening. Sorry if it's going a bit long, but there is just so much to show off and all that kind of fun stuff. So of course, once you get close, they're like, hey, don't keep speeding. And of course, once you get over to this little area, you're gonna it'll kind of take over. And once you land in here, once in a while, other ships will come in and land. You can actually trade for their ship, pay the difference, or you can buy the ship outright and it'll get tossed in your spaceship, your frigate. The tutorial is fairly basic. It kind of gives you like a very general overview. But like, this game has a lot in it, but it's not crazy stuff. So apparently I have a bug right now where it's still showing the Ice World effects, but whatever. We can go check out Daft Punk here. So he knows the name, like, see that how it knows that one purple word, and it gives like a description of it. So like, now they wanted to communicate. I have no idea what they're talking about. So here's money. Give me something. And what did he give me? He gave me a Gek relic, which is nice. I can go to a Gek system and kind of turn it in. Like I was talking before, there's the portal. And then, of course, there are, like, different guilds here, and they'll offer you quests and stuff. Let's go over here. Since I don't actually know what they're saying, I don't know specifically what they're asking for. All right, so this is the mission giver. So go in here. And then, like, hey, go kill 5 Sentinels, and that'll help the reputation with these guys in particular. I believe this is for like the Mission Guild or the Exploration Guild. There's different factions and all that kind of stuff, and I haven't encountered them all yet, but I've been able to do quests for them, which is kind of nice. My favorite thing is going to people and saying like, hey, here's $10. Teach me a word. Maybe this guy will let me do it. No. Oh, so these guys actually don't want money. Oh, that's interesting. So the Gek, I could pay them 10 bucks or 10 units and they teach me words. I guess these guys want copper instead. And of course, as you saw, the big old dude right here, this is the general market. And I can be like, hey, I'm gonna sell for my inventory. Let's sell some oxyhydrogen. Apparently it is 9% under the market from what I understand there. And then that's just the general go of the game. On the other side is like the shopping and stuff, but I'm not going to go over there because it's mostly like, hey, you buy this thing, you install it. It's either a good upgrade or it's you're replacing modules on something you've traded in. So let's barter again. She keeps giving me these Gek relics, those will be really nice. So he gave me a Korvac case. And like, I have no idea what that is. So it's essentially a casing of these people that I've been interacting with. Awesome. So like, hey, I can give him this. He's like, yeah, I got a head, and he gets like my reputation with him will go up, and I believe better missions will all be offered and stuff like that as you make them happier. But like this is like the first system I've encountered a like station or their race in here. And of course it updates you with milestones and fun stuff like that. So like, what did I do here? So I've met 60 aliens. That counts for like when you talk to people. And of course I'm gonna lie and actually go visit the store so you can see it. So apparently I'm a test subject to them. If you notice on the back of my thing, your actual status of your oxygen and protections is actually on your back. I don't remember which side is which, but it will very much reflect how much you have of each. Look at these guys. Oh, hey, buddy. This is some of the guys I like. Oh, look at his face. He looks great. So like, he has a quest he wants to give me. I don't know what it means. So we're gonna say, no, thank you. Because it could be go murder 10 animals, and I don't want to kill 10 animals. So I'm gonna talk to him. All right, so he's kind of like, he made assumptions that, hey, he wants some kind of material. I don't have any of those to actually give him, so I'm just gonna quietly back away. They have these weird doors for like the Atlas, which is kind of a quest, like find the Atlas. I don't know what these are. No idea what these are. I might make a video once I figure those out. And it's one of those things that there are some things I just want to figure out by myself, or I don't want to spoil for other people. It's like, oh, I have nothing to do with you. I don't have any copper, but I'm going to show you the store, and then I'm going to end this so I quit rambling. I've already kept you long enough. So this is like the weapon shop, so that's not actually a good example. Let's go over to this one, which I believe is the upgrades for the suit. It's the suit upgrade. So I can buy an extra slot here. Let's do it. So now I have an extra slot. And let's see, what can I buy? Well, what can I buy from you to make it better? So I could buy the blueprints, which means I could buy the ability to make something, or I can be like, hey, I'm lazy and I don't want to collect units and stuff. So let's see, movement, radiation protection, shield module, protection. So like, hey, I'm having issues on thermal planets. I can upgrade that. But let's upgrade my movement for now. So I'm going to buy it. And then what we're going to do is go to my inventory. Where'd it go? I am probably stupid. No idea where that went. I don't think he actually gave it to me. Purchase upgrade modules. I totally did. I don't know where it went. Oh well. I have a obsessive amount of money. Oh, there it is. I don't know where the other one went. That's really weird. Do you go to my freighter? Nope. Oh well. That's probably the... Oh, there it is. It's in my ship for some odd reason. So I'm just going to discard this. And we're going to hold X on here. It's going to take that, and then I'm going to put it here. So now I have larger life support and my solar power. So like, I believe I either get more energy while in the sun, but I have a much larger air tank, so I won't have to fill it up as much, I believe. But as you saw like earlier, something got added to my map. I can go visit that on another planet. But for now, I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any questions or you want something specifically talked about in a video, please leave it in the comments below. If I have made any mistakes, it's mostly because I have not wanted to look anything up. It's all pretty much self-learned here. I can't jump with this hole. What's down there? Just hot death. But thank you very much. I'm Zero Jetty, the CXplay Fans channel. This is No Man's Sky. It did have that trouble period back on the PlayStation 4, but it seems like from what research I've done, they have added so much to this game. I believe it's worth the price. I'm enjoying it a lot. I intend to play a lot more. Hey, look at my baggy pants. Thank you so much and have a nice night. Fly safely.